You really hate storyline games, don't you?
I don't have
I
that.
could rattle off so many games right now, and I'd be like,
I think my
world.
relationship with them is dicey. Let's go with that. It's not that I don't like them. It's just like they're a bit hit and miss for me.
Hey guys, welcome back to a Gamified podcast. I'm Harley.
I'm Zuff.
And today we're talking about storyline-based games.
Which is nowhere near my specialty. This is definitely more
This is my thing. I'm so happy because our last topic was horror and I...
Was it horrifying?
Yeah, it was. It was everything. I actually went to bed with nightmares that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's very dramatic of you.
So today we're going to talk about storyline-based games and how I believe they've changed over the last 10 to 15 years. But I have a question for you. Why don't you like story-based games?
I get okay. Well, I get bored very quickly with those things because I'm naturally a very competitive person. And
you actually really are. Like, you should hear us on things like Apex Legends and
it's pretty brutal. But yeah, because I'm so competitive, I like the ability to beat other people in a game, in a competitive way. With storyline games, it's just I'm just playing the game in a slightly different way the next time I play it through. All right.
So what about storyline games that you can manipulate the story? So things like Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain and those types of games where they give you options
I
to
haven't
go
played
through.
Either of them. I've never actually heard of those games. What's the...
Okay, I just need to let you know that we are now ceasing this podcast. We are no longer going ahead because you don't know any of those games and I am mortified.
Is it like a Skyrim style of thing where you can every option that you choose?
I've never played Skyrim.
But that's the biggest storyline game that I know. That is the storyline game.
Okay, so we're just both as shit as each other.
Yeah, that's your fault. Okay.
My fault.
So those two games, what is the play style? What do you have to do?
So basically it's a story-driven game and you're given choices at moments throughout the game.
And
they give you choices and every choice you make may manipulate how the game ends.
All right. So the way it sounds to me is basically like Fable, but there's no predicted ending.
Yes,
right?
like Fable, but you have the option to change the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But and they're a lot darker subject matter than Fable.
Okay, I'll say this one thing. In terms of replayability, those types of games, they're very good.
Yeah.
Right? But I think you can only go like how many options can they really give you? But I guess the branching out of that could be quite wide, but they're also designed almost definitely to kind of lead always into a certain point, right?
I guess you're right in a sense, but it depends on how you play the game. I'm pretty sure with Heavy Rain, there's a whole number of options you can make throughout that game.
Yeah.
And a lot of them you won't make it to the end of the game. Does that make sense?
So you can actually
you won't. There's choices that you make that might actually kill you later on in the game.
Oh, that's okay. That's interesting. I'll give you that much.
Yeah. So I think that's Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've played it. But things like those games where you have options to manipulate where you end up in a game, I quite enjoy. But I also like story-driven games from a starting point and their end point. Things like Uncharted. The Uncharted series is very good.
I don't know.
Have you played? So, okay, let's rephrase. What story-based games have you played?
Fable, I played with
that's
with my partner Stitch, and honestly, I didn't have the best introduction to Fable, and this is kind of why. When my first exposure to it was watching her play.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, you can do a co-op mode in this to play together." So I was like, "Cool, we should game together. Let's do that." So I started playing alongside her, and because she was a much higher level than me, everything was I was ranking up very quickly. And then when I went to do like my own solo quest underneath my own character, but I still already had those abilities, it was just too easy.
Okay,
I was too
because you're
leveled up.
already
Yeah.
leveled
And
up
by the time I
past.
got then I was like, oh well, this got boring. So I don't know. I liked the fact that I could play alongside someone.
So would you play a game that has the ability to level up but also gain other skills at the same time? Or you just like to
Like
verse
with
other
huge skill trees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. They appeal to me less. Like the only type of story things that I really do.
Is it
play
because you
like,
have to sit there and really grind?
Yeah, I don't. The only type of grinding I like doing is like in like.
But you
COD.
play Overwatch.
But Overwatch.
That's the biggest, grindiest game ever.
It's got huge replayability though, because the good thing about Overwatch is they always bring in new stuff, new characters, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But with like those storyline games, they stay fixed. That's the thing. They don't usually bring in new characters and.
Yeah, but they have free playability though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
like
not the type
amount of
replayability
times
that
I
like.
have played Uncharted, that whole series. The amount of times I've played the Batman series.
I played Skyrim for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, "It's not for me."
Well, I've never played Skyrim, so we're both in the same spot.
What about so do you count campaigns that are within a multiplayer game, like say Halo, it has a whole campaign, right?
Yeah.
Is that a storyline based section of the game for you?
I would say that's a first-person shooter with the option of a storyline-based game.
Because like Halo,
built into
all the
it.
way through. Like,
Well, that's the same. You could say the same with Destiny. Destiny's a FPS.
Yeah, it's basically a rip-off of Halo, but whatever. Yeah.
We could argue about
Yeah, we
this,
could.
but Destiny is the same. It's a FPS game
Yeah.
with PvP.
Yeah.
And
I see,
it also
yeah.
have the option of PvE if you wanted.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can
But
do that
lots
with,
of people do the PvP.
I don't know. Like, yeah, that's probably like my longest exposure to anything that was like storyline was playing Halo, like all the way through all the campaigns with
Okay,
like
so
a group of people.
you enjoyed that part.
That part, because
Yeah.
it was almost like a melding of the thing that I love most, which is competitive FPS style gaming.
Yeah.
All right. But I just do it with other people. But more often than not, we would kind of get bored and then we would just revert back to matchmaking and then go and
go and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, another
Like,
game.
Player versus player. So
Okay, so would you ever play games like Uncharted if the opportunity arose?
yeah.
So
like,
say if I had my PlayStation and I had those games
I would give
and
it a
I
go.
had a gun to your head.
That's a bit dramatic. But I would give it a go just to see what it's like. Like I'm fairly open to trying different games and stuff, which is,
Are you a book reader?
Depends on the book. I'm very much like fantasy books, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
So
some
when you read a
non-fictions.
book, then do you get immersed in the
Yeah,
book if it's really good?
Yeah, that like my
See,
favorite
that's
book
me
is-
for games, for storyline games. If it's a really good storyline, like I
yeah.
am very immersed in it. So, like all of the Batman games.
You in the Batman games.
Well, I'm a Batman fan, as
Oh,
you can tell.
good,
My
yeah.
name's Harley.
Yeah.
But the Batman games had such replayability because the story was so good.
So
Apart from Batman Origins, that can go down the toilet. But
so with the Batman games, I have a question. Is it the same storyline every time that you play it?
yes and no.
It's either one or the other.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? It can't be yes, it's the same storyline, and no, it's not. It's either yes, it's
Well,
the
it
exact same
depends.
storyline. and-
So it depends. The mechanic of the storyline is the same, but the story isn't the same.
What do you mean the mechanic of the story?
So it plays out similar to previous games,
Okay.
but the actual story and what drives you in the story is different.
Okay, but I'm saying, what about this? We're talking about like one edition of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you went back to play that same edition of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change
You
that.
can't change anything.
Okay,
it's
so
it's a story.
Yeah, set story.
It's a set story.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is your opinion on the replayability of those types of games where it's a set story? You know everything that's going to happen because you played it before.
See, the reason why I like the Batman games is because they had things like the New Game Plus, which is harder. You've got different modes.
Like
You've got
difficulty
easy,
modes, yeah.
medium, hard.
Yeah.
You've got challenges and stuff, and within that you have other challenges and collections and things to do. So I am a collector.
You're a collector, yeah.
I
definitely.
like to sit there and grind out the game and play the game to 100%.
Yeah. Well,
Because if you're playing a game, that's what you're playing the game for.
I don't agree that that's every time. Like some people just play casually.
That is what
No,
it's.
no, you can play games
no.
casually, right?
Okay.
Not everyone has to be a collector of all things.
No. If you're
in a
gonna
game.
buy a fucking storyline game, you're gonna fucking sit there and get all of the trophies and all of the collectibles.
That's just so much of a time commitment, though.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, that's true.
But see, like that's what I don't understand about people is they go and buy these really enriched games full of story, and they've spent all this time getting all these collectibles and extra missions that add on later on after the game is released, like downloadable content and stuff.
Yeah, but you buy the extra downloadable content.
Yeah,
right?
Well, yes, with season passes, but like, but at the same time, like they take the time to put all of that in there. Why aren't you playing a game to that?
Yeah, I guess it's almost like
you know what I mean?
in
Like,
respect to the game designers and everything.
Like the reason why I really enjoyed the Batman game was because the games were so good, but they had the Riddler trophies, which are puzzle based.
I do like
which
puzzle
you
based
would
games.
enjoy.
I do like puzzle, like so. The puzzle, like we should probably do a whole episode on them alone. But my favorite puzzle based game is like Portal.
Yes, I know, and we spoke about this before. Yeah,
and it's just such a simple concept of like.
But is that a story driven game too?
It is a story driven game, but it's like it's focused around being a puzzle.
Okay.
Like you just progress through the levels by completing puzzles, and then you get a bit of a storyline along the way. But it's not so much like.
But it's not.
Every
It's not.
move
It's
you
not
make.
a story with a puzzle in it. It's the puzzle with the story around.
It, yeah.
Okay.
So it's just
so
like,
it's not really a storyline.
No, it's not a storyline game. It's a puzzle game.
You really hate storyline games, don't you?
I don't have
like I
that.
could rattle off so many games right now, and I'd be like,
I think my
world.
relationship with them is dicey. Let's go with that. It's not that I don't like them. It's just like they're a bit hit and miss for me. You know, like they don't consistently enough engage me in that way. Like we're very different types of gamers, which is
we are, and that's why I love talking about this stuff with you because I can
because to me it's like you. Like a previous episode, right? We talked about horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's engaging to me because like my imagination fills in the gap and I can I'm immersed in the emotion in the moment. But for like a storyline game, it's like you're telling me everything. Like everything.
Yeah.
I make a decision, but it's like you're most likely leading it in a particular direction. Like Fable, it's like there's one of two outcomes.
Yeah.
Right? You either end up evil or good and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of just leading me around the way. But with like horror games and stuff, it's like there's an ending to that, but it's like the moments in between where I'm filled with fear and anticipation. That's what
you write that part of
like,
the story yourself.
It's the rush, But rather than like the playthrough of the whole story. But I'm like looking to diversify my like scope of playing games, and that's why I'm wanting to branch out maybe into like particularly like tabletop games like D&D and like
so there's story-based driven games as well.
It's very much out of my comfort zone in terms of like the types
which
of games.
Which is I find that really interesting, but we can touch on that in another episode as well. We've got so many episode ideas, guys.
But okay, here's my question to you.
Okay.
What is when you were a kid your favorite storyline game when you were like in your adolescence and then now? Like you're 3 that you could choose at those stages of growing up.
Okay, so when PlayStation 1 was a huge thing.
Yep.
Crash Bandicoot. I know they were like they're not they're story-based games in a sense, but they're level games as well.
Yeah, they're level games more.
So
it's like saying I mean, Super Smash Brothers is like
but you had like but that's all you had, really. You didn't have story-based games in the sense that like I mean you had Harry Potter and stuff.
Time Crisis was more of a story-based game.
Yeah, see, I wasn't allowed to play Time Crisis when I was that young.
Yeah, well, I had no supervision, so
I didn't have parents. No.
Yeah, I played Doom when I was like 8. Come on, like
no. So because of my age group, my parents very limitedly let me have screen time with PlayStation.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's a good decision.
We had Spyro, Crash Bandicoot,
I love Spyro.
the Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
They were pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Spyro,
as
just
an
swam
adult,
around for 2 hours at a time.
I stopped playing games probably through my teens. It wasn't until I was about 16 or 17 I bought a PlayStation 3.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the first game I ever played was Uncharted 2.
Oh, okay. So that's where your love for it kind of stems.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my God, I love this game. I have
and
to
then
go
what
back.
about now? Like,
and because they had a multiplayer version as well.
Yeah.
So they had the FPS bit.
So they kind of had it all in one.
I think it was third person.
I want to talk to you about that stuff as well. In
Third person. Thing. But anyway, so they had that side of it too. So that's where I got introduced with things like Uncharted, which they spent all that time to do. And then as I was getting older, they developed the first Batman game. And then I got into that. And that it was something that I kept wanting to go back and play.
Yeah.
And then it just progressed. I just started playing mainly the Uncharted games, the Batman games. Borderlands was the whole thing as well.
Yeah, which is releasing very soon.
Oh, Borderlands 3. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
Okay, in terms of like your storyline games that you're most anticipating to play, is that the top one? Because I know there's a few that you're looking at.
So the ones coming out, I'm really excited for Borderlands 3, which is like 2 weeks away. So excited. I took annual leave for that.
I can't wait to to build that PC.
Oh, I know. And I love. Anyway, Borderlands 3, super excited. I'm doing a review on it as well.
Yeah.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So weird. But I like the
ambiguity.
Yeah, thank you. I can't speak. Around that, you don't know what's really happening, and even the teasers that they've sent out, there's nothing there.
So here's the
really
with Death Stranding, right? The first teaser, it kind of just like it threw me off to the point where like I lost interest, and I didn't want to. I didn't have any interest in it afterwards. But in starting up the podcast and everything, you know, we've been interacting with some people on Instagram and everything because we want to kind of get a feel of what our listeners and everything want. And one of I think it was another podcast. They made a very good point, and it's like in this game, it's almost played out in like a section of limbo between life and death. It almost seems like. That's a vibe I got. Was that there was no it's like they're in limbo. Yeah,
there was no actual death. And life was like a secondary thing.
Oh, is it that like limbo is another section of life?
Yeah, see, I got that too. Yeah. But I'm wondering anyway, we could go on a whole trip with this.
Yeah, we should do a review on that one.
I think I'll do a review on that one too. Yeah. But like I want to know what the meanings of the babies are, why that's holding them to. Is that holding them in limbo or out of limbo?
It's probably just one of those things. You know how we have
it's
like
a probably huge metaphor. I mean, it's
or babies are
it's
in
a
Kojima,
limbo.
Or babies are in limbo of life and death until they're born.
That's true.
It's like Schrodinger's cat, death in life.
Yeah.
Until you open the box type of thing.
So they're the two games I'm actually really looking forward to.
Okay, here's my thing. If you had to a pick between the two, which one is more your type?
Borderlands 3, 100%.
100%?
100%.
Okay, here's something
because Death Stranding, again, reverting back to our previous episode, has a slight horror undertake.
You know what? We should play that one together.
But having said that, I kind of am more intrigued by it because it is sort of
very mysterious,
real lifey, in the sense that
as in like the graphics, you mean?
No, in the sense that like people have experienced afterlife when they've gone into a death situation. When they've died and come back to life and they've gone into an afterlife state. I quite like that idea of that like horror-y kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Aspect. But there's also the weirdest, like, creepiest stuff in there that I'm so intrigued about.
That's all it was. Like, when you're in limbo, you just go through horrifying shit.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued by that for some reason.
Okay, here's something that we
Borderlands 3 is 100% my game.
Here's one thing.
Well, Borderlands in general.
in regards
take
to
someone.
Borderlands 3, this is where we disagree, kind of. I think the art style in Borderlands 3, from the trailers that I've seen, because I've not played Borderlands, but from the trailers, it's very
we
similar
have this
to
argument.
Apex, right?
No.
It looks very similar.
That's why I was saying to you the other night, you need to watch the Borderlands, the very first one.
Okay, look, I'm not talking
trailer.
about Borderlands 1
No, but
or
then
2.
No.
I'm talking about okay, at least in the trailer of Borderlands 3, you have to admit, like Apex was like the same art style.
Sorry, I just bumped my mic. You have to actually.
So you're at a 7.
Look, I'm
you
just
bring it
really
down to a
aggressive
4.
right now. You've really pissed me off.
Oh,
Okay.
fucking typical.
No, you have to go from the first one because you can't make a decision based on the art style now because you haven't seen the progression of the first two.
But I'm not saying that they took it from Apex. I'm just saying it is a very similar style.
But you do realize Borderlands has come out way before Apex.
Yes, I know.
So if anything, Respawn took a massive hit on
yeah, for sure.
Borderlands 3. But I wanna challenge you to play some Borderlands 3.
I'll play
and I'll film it.
I'll play it for the podcast.
For the pod. What about for me?
No, I don't care that much about you. You're not that important. Come on, you're just here as someone to talk to.
I think you would enjoy. I really actually think you would enjoy Borderlands.
Okay.
Because it's your FPS. It's a looter shooter. It has a leveling system. And you can play with friends and you can do raids and things like that.
Oh, you mean like in like Dota and stuff? Or I guess WoW.
Yes.
You do raids and stuff.
Kind of like that. But not like WoW. They're like 4-player raids where you kill a boss to get legendary loot and stuff. So you still got all of that, but you also have the story-driven like missions that you go through to get to the end story.
So, okay, here's in regards to like storyline versus an FPS, would you prefer a storyline game or an FPS?
Well, if I'm playing with a group of people, FPS. If I'm playing by myself, storyline, 100%.
See,
because I'm greedy and I like to have a singular experience.
So greedy. You're such a loot goblin when we play like things like Apex together.
Ouch. That really hurt.
You are the lootiest goblin I know.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that carries our team.
Okay.
Maya can barely get any kills, by the way.
Yo. You want to play some Overwatch with me and see who gets the most kills?
Whoa. I can't believe you even play that trash, dude.
You only say it's trash because you're really bad at the game.
Well, that's why you don't play Apex either, because you're really bad at the game.
You know what we should do?
You know what I think we should do? We should wrap that one up. So
no. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a little bit of footage of you playing Overwatch and a little bit of footage of me playing Apex. You could even pick your best moments, right?
Okay, I think that's a special vid.
Special video? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll do one where it's you playing Overwatch and me playing Apex. Whether it's PC or console, we'll decide.
Okay.
And then we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But here's...
So has there any... Just one last thing I want to ask you. Has there ever been a storyline-based game where you've gone, fuck, I need to play that? Recently.
Okay, let me have a quick think. Storyline based game.
Okay, quick think's over. Let's go.
No. Really just no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you some games. Uncharted series. Batman series.
Oh wait.
Borderlands series.
Do you count
Tomb Raider series? And that's all.
Assassin's Creed is a storyline based game?
Yes.
Okay. I like that game. That is like one of my favorite games.
You're such a loser.
Why? You don't like Assassin's Creed?
I fucking hate Assassin's Creed.
What,
only because
like
it got really bad.
What about number 1?
No. Sorry, excuse me.
You want to contain that, please?
I'm sorry.
So rude.
Sorry. I just had a lot of water, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. But
no, I played the first 2 games and number 3. Actually, no, the first 3 games I've played.
Yeah.
But it got...
Okay. I like
it
1.
Got worse
I like
after
2,
that.
I like Brotherhood. I don't like Black Flag that much. And then
I didn't play after Brotherhood, I don't think.
Yeah, after that, it's not so much.
Yeah.
My thing. But Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just to kind of, wrap it up. I have a question.
Yeah.
There's been rumors that Overwatch 2 is a thing, and it's going to be a storyline based game. Now you don't like Overwatch, but I don't like storyline based games.
Look, I don't like Overwatch for the toxicity.
I kind of like it for the toxicity.
Yeah, but you're a toxic person.
Oh, he's so toxic. No, the reason
I don't like it for the toxicity because they're not nice to new players.
No. Here's the thing. The reason I like
Overwatch has its place for sure.
Yeah.
But Overwatch 2, if they did it so that it was story campaign on its own and still had what makes Overwatch great to you now as a separate thing, I say go for it.
Yeah.
But if they're going to loop the two together and have the story play through as you're doing the FPS stuff, then no.
Here's what I would kind of want. I would want, like in Halo, where you play through a storyline in an FPS kind of like viewpoint with like 4 other people that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to like have the whole storyline from like before the war, during the war, after the war, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that I would actually play that. I think. Because it'd bring me back to things like Halo and all that.
So in the rumors, is it going to be a separate thing?
I think,
or are they intertwining the story with what they have now in the campaign base and the
from what I've heard, it's like following the lore and like kind of I think it's playing through possibly the actual story of. So
it's kind of big. Okay, so it's kind of like COD where you have the story and then you can go into your multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make a multiplayer aspect in it because you already have Overwatch. They always update it. They put in new characters and they keep it fresh. So it might be,
and it's also owned by Blizzard. So I mean, you've got friggin' WoW, who's like had how many expansions now?
The only reason they made Overwatch, I think, is because they wanted to make a movie, and the game was a way to fund the movie of Overwatch, and it just became so big. So now you just make the movie into a storyline based game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's my thing.
Anyway, we can touch more on that when we do our FPS episode.
FPS game, right?
Yeah, because that'll be your episode.
Oh yeah, fine. Okay, so wrapping it up, you anticipate high anticipation towards Borderlands 3 and
definitely
and Death Stranding.
Like, I don't think my body can be as ready as it is now to play Borderlands 3. I mean, I took time off work.
You're sexualizing the game.
2.5 weeks off work, Zuff.
Just to play Borderlands.
I bought a brand new PC build.
You're welcome, by the way.
Just to play Borderlands 3.
Okay.
I bought it on Xbox and PlayStation. Yes, I know, I'm crazy.
Fully committed.
I am fully committed. It's like one of the series that I am like live or die by.
So
I love it.
Wrapping it up.
Mm-hmm. You've said that 5 times now.
No. Quiet. We'll be bringing out a review video, at least you will, of Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe included in that will be a bit of me playing it terribly.
Yes, and I can't wait for that.
and Death Stranding as well.
Mm-hmm.
Our next episode is most likely going to be on FPS shooters and all that kind of stuff. So if you're keen on that, let us know.
Hey guys, Harley here. Did you enjoy that video? Give us a like. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Our socials are linked in the description below, and we're also on Spotify and iTunes, so go and check us out over there. We'd like to know from you if you would like to hear about anything interesting or have any ideas for future podcasts. Drop us a comment and we'll get back to you on those. I'm Harley and this is Gamified. Game on.